Peace family, this is Ahmad Wazir. I want to do a quick video, and the title of the video is taken from one of the greatest rappers of all time, KRS-One. He got a song called Build Your Skills. And I thought about that title of the song because a lot of us are frustrated where we are in life, and we've got things we want to do, and we feel like we're not given the right opportunities. You know, see, jealousy, the reason why jealousy and envy is so strong and so prevalent among us is because we all know we are great. And when we see somebody else being elevated, and in our minds, we know we are great too, and we want to be elevated too. If we're not conscious of the fact that those feelings are coming up, those are natural feelings, jealousy. It's a natural response. You give one child a Slurpee, and you don't get the other one a Slurpee, you're gonna have hell on your hands because it's unfair. I deserve that too. You know, but that never goes away. So we'll see people get some advantage in life, and we feel like we're just as qualified or if not more qualified than that person. Then those feelings of jealousy come up, which are natural feelings. But the wisdom to put that stuff in place and check it, like, wait, well, that's when that self-talk comes in, like, wait a minute. Let me fall back and not become a hater or envious of this person, but let me observe and see what they did, or what can I do to build myself up, or get my, to get my weight up. And then one thing I learned is sometimes one person's blessing and one door that might be open for one person might not be the one for me. Sometimes that person, and you can look, well, I'm smarter than that person, or I'm more knowledgeable, or I got this and I got that. But for whatever reason, it is what it is. That person gets this advantage, gets blessed in this area. That might not be the door for me. So, self-awareness teaches us to always be constantly observing ourselves and working on ourselves. See, never let anybody be a gatekeeper to your success. I don't care who it is. We're all given 24 hours a day. We all have different struggles and things in our lives. But do the best you can, if you want something, to put yourself in position to get it. And if it doesn't come through the door of this person or that person, because you might have somebody who just straight up got an advantage because they were more liked than you were. This shit happens all the time, man. But when we work on ourselves and we develop ourselves and cultivate our own gifts and our own talent, see, that takes more effort, And I'll just say this straight up, like, I work a job, but I'm cultivating and building myself to do something outside of the job, because there's a different skill set to come up on a job than it is to build something for yourself, and both are valuable, because if I haven't learned anything else from working jobs, it's humility. It's to not take things personally. It took me a long time to get that. But what I also am learning is nobody's going to assign the value to me that I think I'm worth if they see me as somebody that's underneath them. It's just what it is. It's human nature. So I have the responsibility to cultivate and build my own thing, whether I'm recognized like I think I should or not. But still, When I go on my job, I give it my all. I do the best I can. But that doesn't belong to me. You know what I'm saying? It's not mine. I have to continue to build that which is mine. If I have the desire to be, to show my maximum value, that's never going to really come and be recognized through a job. Unless you're just an exceptional person, you know what I'm saying? And even with that, it's very rare because it's layers of politics, it's layers of things, that you have to fight through, And you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? See, a job can never hold you back in the sense that when you're not there, and if you feel you're being held back, what can you do on your end to increase your value to either do something for yourself or take your skill set elsewhere? See, nobody's holding you once you're off that job. I got to give a shout out to my man, Leonard, Brother Leonard back in Richmond, Brother Leonard Muhammad. I never forget, he's very successful, has his cleaning business. And I never forget, he would be working a job during the day, and then he was building his business up at night. It's not glorious, it's not pretty, but he got to a point where he was able to let the daytime job go. And this was a living example of somebody that I actually saw in action do that. And a lot of times, man, listen, to each his own, but on jobs, we have to navigate through a lot of stuff, man. It's a minefield sometimes, navigating through people's egos and people's sense of entitlement and people fighting for the same thing and the same recognition. And, it almost can become like Survivor, you know what I'm saying? Like people vying for the same thing, man, and backstabbing and all types of things go on when it comes to the politics of a job. And it's a different skill set. But I say this to say that's a skill set. That's to learn and rise up. But on most jobs, there are only a certain amount of positions that can be filled at a time. And a lot of times it's not worth it in the long run. It depends on the person, but if I have to navigate through that minefield for 10 and 20 years to get to a certain salary, that I actually could put a concentrated effort in producing my own thing that would pay that in half the time. Or not just even the money part, but just the skill set and the self-respect and, and not having to navigate through that minefield. And I call it a minefield. When you're dealing with any social system, you're dealing with people's personalities, you're dealing with egos, you're dealing with all types of stuff. And it's a saying I got from my nephew, man. I love this saying. It's like you got to crawl. A lot of times, man, is it worth crawling through the mouse hole that you have to crawl through to become, to climb up that. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It's up to each and every individual. But in those situations, you have a ton of frustrated individuals who feel stuck, who feel like they're looked over. But I would say that to anybody who's feeling that way, man, cultivate yourself. Take your time and build and work towards something. If you can't squeeze into those few little positions that they do have open, I would encourage you to just continue to work on yourself and develop yourself, man. Don't let somebody determine how high you go up in life. One of my favorite scenes on House of Cards is a guy, he's advising Frank, the president. And the president is giving him pushback. And the man walks off. He said, well, look, man, I know my worth. And he walks out like, dude, I know what I bring to the table, so I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. You understand what I'm saying? When you know your worth, you don't let people diminish you. So I encourage everybody, man, to just take a look and take a self, just pause, take a look at yourself, look at where you want to go, and look at the job as a vehicle. If you're working a job, look at it as a vehicle to get to where you want to go, and you have to determine, is this the best vehicle to get to where I want to go? If not, what other vehicles are there that are available? If there are 5 positions and 500 people trying to squeeze into those 5 positions, then you're going to have a situation like Lord of the Flies where everybody's just stabbing each other and slitting each other's throat to get, to that spot. And your effort and time might be better served when you're off that job. Do the best you can while you're on that job, but developing yourself, developing a plan, if it's somewhere else or if it's doing something for yourself. But developing that skill set. And that's the part that's hard, because the job is already structured, it's set up. All you got to do is come there, and there's already a framework there. But when you're trying to create something, you got to sit there and do the planning. You got to create the framework. It's a different skill set. But nonetheless, all we got is this one life. And never allow, people not recognizing your skill and talent to make you bitter. And I don't care what that is, job, organization, whatever. Find the best use of your talent and the best vehicle for it. Sometimes it's to create your own vehicle. Sometimes it's to go elsewhere, to team up with like-minded individuals. But if you're hitting your head against a damn solid wall, it might be time to rethink your strategy. And then you have to look honestly at yourself and take responsibility. Don't point the finger at them, they're not showing me love, they're not recognizing me. What can you do on your end? That might be very well true. But now what? And the last thing I'll say is about social skills. Social skills are very valuable. And that's the Achilles heel of a lot of us. We don't know how to navigate in an environment, or have the social skills to navigate through an environment. And one of the key things is, practice not taking things personally. You know what I'm saying? Because, you'll be constantly fighting a war on all fronts, dealing with, if you're going after every little slight, every little, learn how to take what's good and beneficial and discard the rest. We'll go deeper than this in another one. I just wanted to do a short video. I was inspired to do this, man. Love y'all, and talk to y'all soon. Peace.